It's time for trigger warning.
Trigger warning! Fuck your feelings, you little snowflake! Triggerwarning.tv.
How dare you!
Hello there, you alright? How's it going? Whatever I say tonight, it's second fiddle to the fact that Michael Keaton's in talks to play Batman again. So that's all you... In fact, I could just go now, can't I? Have a good one, guys. Well done. We did it. How you doing anyway? You alright? You alright? Just me tonight, and I've not put a light on strong enough for the autofocus to work well, have I? That's awful lighting tonight, so you're welcome. Hayden is hammered again. He's rebuilding the entire trigger warning project from the ground up, and he very much needs to pay his rent as well. So there's two very pressing things there. He can't just work, though. He can't just do paid work. He has to do the other stuff. Smoke Steve's in again saying, here we go. G-Unit. Alan's just said, Batman again. Yeah, can you imagine it, though? It'd be all old, and he's amazing. He's amazing. He never stopped being Batman, not in my heart, anyway. Dippy Derrick's in with us, yo, peeps. Sutty's Riyadh. Aphid's saying, he's still getting tranny chased. I've always done really well with trannies, personally, as well, myself. I don't know why, but my time in San Francisco was mental. Absolutely mental. I came away just thinking there's no women with vaginas in that city. It doesn't exist. It's just not a thing. I have got, here we go, Fat Belly. I'm sick of Spider-Man, Superman, and Batman films. Yeah, me too. But that's why I'd quite like Keaton, because he's not going to give a shit, is he? I mean, sure, well, I don't know at this point. They might just hand him a huge bag of cash. But my hope is that, he's comfortable enough to just be, chill about it and be like, well, I'm not doing this. It's shit. Do you know what I mean? That's my hope anyway. That's my hope. Rasputin's grossed. Yay, more comic book movies for grown men. Well, I was a child when I saw it. I'm trying to cling on to it, baby. I'm excited anyway. You don't have to be. That's okay. I quite like Michael Keaton. I've always liked him. But yeah, guys, I have put the link to join in the description. I'm going to pop it there. I'm not going to let anyone in just yet, but if you do want to jump in, you're more than welcome to get prepared. I might get some people in later on. But first, I really need to talk about CHAZ, because I've been enjoying CHAZ. Not that I want people to die, but the shootings are almost a necessary. How do I put it? Necessary signage of the ridiculousness of the whole proposition. How long till Grain vapes? Right now, actually. I think America, and by extension, the West, I'm talking about the UK, obviously, we've just had it easy for so long. We have. And I'm not talking on a micro level. I'm talking on macro. Of course, people have hard lives. Bad things happen to them. But as a culture and a society, no, not really. Not like serious long term. Whoa! Shut up, Graham. Struggles, and obviously, when you do live with that kind of opulence and wealth, which we do have, don't let anyone tell you that we don't. Even the poorest of us are phenomenally wealthy. That breeds this whole kind of like, well, man, we could just get rid of money and property and all this, and it opens up this thing, and you all know it. Good times make soft people, and soft people makes bad times, and bad times makes hard people, and hard people make good times. We're on the curve at the moment, and that's okay. That's absolutely fine. Oh yeah. Oh, here we go, Ozzy. Here we go. We had the 30-year conflict in Ulster. All right. Bless your little face. Yeah, that was bad. It's had, though, is the positive thing. And it's not poverty on the levels that we used to know. Nothing. Oh, I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not getting fucking sucked into that bullshit right now. Hello, Boog. Do you know what? I didn't see much of the thing on Saturday, so I'm not sure. Was he sober for the whole thing? Did he take it super serious? I was in bed, mate. I was done and gone. But yeah, getting back to CHAZ. I'm glad for CHAZ. I'm really glad for CHAZ because it gets these awful ideas and it exaggerates them and it makes them loud and lets people know how fucking stupid it is. And I'm happy for that. Because for me, a healthy left is one that isn't living in a fucking dreamland of like, let's just open all the borders and close all the prisons and all that nonsense. You know, like the great example recently in the UK was nationalising broadband, just a government takeover. And now they've just done a thing like during lockdown, there has been an issue, tiny issue, of kids not being able to get on the internet. Vast majority have got Wi-Fi. The vast majority. But there's a few, and now everyone's going, oh, see, if we'd have nationalised it, it's like, well, the left I want is the left that sees those kids and advocates for us as a collective helping them. You know, that's collectivization. That's collective thinking done right. And then appeals to you to give consent for that to happen. You know what? Yeah, let's connect them all up. Like, you know, give it $1 billion, connect a load of poor kids. Fucking great. Buying computers, fucking great. Lift them up. It's what I want to do. I genuinely do. But we've just gone mental with it now. Absolutely mental. Thanks, Alan. Now, the thing about CHAZ that's happened that's really, really fucked me off is this. I don't know if you've seen this. I hope you have. And I don't know if you can. Oh, I don't know if you can hear it. But CHAZ set up a blacks only area during June 19th. Juneteenth, by the way, has only just become some sort of celebration. It didn't exist. It was fucking nothing at all. Like literally, they went back 5 years. There was a single tweet about it. Nobody cared. and now we all just have to pretend it's a thing, which is really odd considering I live in the UK. And she's got nothing to do with me. But what they've set up here is a blacks only area policed by white. And I don't know if you guys can hear that. So up until 8 p.m, you are not allowed in this area based on the colour of your skin. Now, I accepted the garden. You know, they had a little garden. This is for black and indigenous people. And I accepted that and I understand that shit. That's just racists who are so wrapped up in their own ego that they can't see they're racist. They look down on black people. So they go, you know what? Let's give them a little garden. Do you know what? We colonized this. So we'll give them this back. And but I accept that. I don't give a fuck about that. That's been going on all through history, and it will go on forever and ever. Over ego of certain kinds of students that are a certain way, and you just sort of tolerate them. They mean well. What fucks me up, what really fucks me up, this was on my mind all night last night, is there is 100, 200 people behind this woman. Look at them. Some of whom are white, but they must identify as black. God knows how that conversation went down. Or identified as oppressed. There's a lot of black people. I don't give a shit about the colour of any of their skin. I really, really don't care about the colour of any of their skin in front of us and behind. What bothers me right now is these supposed anti-racists are allowing this to happen and are allowing an open border. And here's the thing, man, right? There's a certain point in a history where it would have said blacks only or no blacks. And now they've wrote black out. And I'm not sure at what point I'm supposed to differentiate. You know, they're going to talk about it's a healing space and all that shit. I really, really do not care. I do not care. Whatever language you've used, whatever flowery nonsense you've attached to this bullshit, it's unacceptable. that you are putting white people over there, which she actually does. She points, look, she gives it a little wave. Look, you're welcome to use all this space over here, but this is blacks only up behind me. I don't give two sweet fucks how you justify this. The weird religion that you're in that's called anti-racism, whereas the rest of us are not racist. I really don't care. You are a segregationist arsehole. You are the worst of the worst. I was on the left for my entire life. And for my entire life, I thought that this was not tolerated amongst my tribe. And not just not tolerated, it was ridiculed and run out. It would have been a joke. This literally would have been in a sitcom a few years ago or a sketch show. And now, look how fucking relaxed all these LARPing cunts are as it's just going on behind them. Why? And not one of these scumbags standing up and challenging this bollocks. Why? They're willing to burn down affordable housing. They're willing to pull down statues of the first, I nearly said prime minister, the first president of the United States. That's fine. They're willing to murder people in the street in the name of Black Lives Matter, but they're not willing to get up their ass and challenge segregation. And I was arguing this years ago. I've talked about this before on the thing. I'll just go through it briefly, man. I said something about I don't think the UK is a racist country. I don't. Overall, I don't think it's a racist country. I think there's racist people in this country. Turns out this was quite the thing. Loza Fox said that on telly, didn't he? Fucks his whole life up. Now, the argument's given to me that I only think that because I'm white. I only think that because I couldn't possibly understand, etc., etc. I argued at the time that this is what you are doing right now is segregational thinking. It's fucking insane. I can't. This was literally my whole night last night, just watching this video over and over again. In a broader political context, I don't give a fuck about the shootings. There's a load of absolute knobheads acting the fool. Of course, someone's going to get shot. Of course, someone's going to get raped. Of course, people are going to OD. All of that is par for the course. Fucking acceptable losses in terms of if this is how you choose to live your life, so be it. But this shit right here really fucking sunk into me, and it should sink into you, especially if you consider yourself on the left, because the left right now is tolerating this, is accepting this. This is the flowers of intersectional feminism. It all comes from that, being obsessed with race and identity politics, and it really bothers me. Really fucking bothers me. And here we are, Twitter again, tomorrow at CHOP from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. We're having a blackout for Juneteenth. That means black folks on grounds only. 108 retweets. Oh, bless. Why is Twitter not censoring this? Twitter are quite good for getting rid of dodgy, scary content. They just got rid of Katie Hopkins for saying, I hope someone's hung like an orangutan. Why is she getting banned for that? But this person here is just proudly, openly calling for segregation. No one gives a shit. I don't know. Do you know what? I was going to talk about that. I'm not even going to fucking talk about that right now. The whole Robin DiAngelo, this white lady that we've got currently letting us know. Yes, cup of tea. It is segregation. And yes, Rick Care. They are creating a race war. They are. Of course they are. There's no doubt about that in my mind. In fact, let's just go through a few more of the comments. Buckscop saying you're starting to radicalize me, Graham. Soon I'll be another trigger warner fuck soldier. Will you just going around accepting people's opinions, will you, Bucks? I'm sorry about that. I hate the thought of you just allowing people to have different perspectives. Passionately. I don't give a shit, man. This is the thing. I don't care. I didn't care about the garden, but I care about 200 people just sat there chilling whilst... No. You heard. Anyway, Manzi has just said, just saw Hayden's advert for delayed flight compensation on Cartoon Network today. Dude, did you see Cartoon Network, or was it Nickelodeon, just after the George Floyd murder, put an 8-minute and 46 thing with a guy going, black screen with I Can't Breathe on a kids channel? And they were like, we're educated. You imagine that? You imagine my little girl, 4, just about to turn 5. Maybe she's got her headphones on, eh? She's just watching it on the app. And I realise she's just listening to a grown man. But even that I can understand. Graham is saying anarchy and freedom is what we want. You can have one of those things. You can't have both, mate. Sorry, you're gonna have to pick anarchy or freedom. It doesn't really work both ways. It's not gonna happen. And you know what? Good for you. If that's what you want, do it. Do it. Get some land. Go and do it. People will donate. This is the thing, man. They don't realize. Occupy led to the donation of a shitload of land for him. Someone said, here you go. Go create utopia. Go do it. It lasted weeks. These things never, ever last. Not without surrounding areas pouring money in. But yeah, go do it. I'm happy for you to do it. I really am. That doesn't mean I'm not going to call out this bullshit. I saw this, and this is a really, really, really good point. So I did look into it. So Bo Weingard, he's all right. I don't really know. I don't know his political leanings or whatever. He just seems to be a person. But he says, I choose to believe that either this is a setup or the ultra-conservatives have infiltrated the autonomous zone and are striving to discredit it by creating racially segregated spaces for black people who appear to be protected primarily by white people. Can you imagine thinking so little of black people? Can you imagine thinking black people were so pathetic and so far below you that they needed a safe healing space? Can you imagine? I can't imagine being such a white supremacist. And I'll be honest, the title for this video was a little bit of a troll in that respect. I don't think it was infiltrated. I think it was established by white supremacy. I think the reason these people go on about white supremacy so much is because that's what they are. And they are a disgusting minority. Ooh. Aussie's right there. Yeah, Black Lives Matter. They've raised a lot of money for the Democrats, which go and Google it, actually. Go and Google it right now, and it'll say, no. They've not given it to the Democrats. False. Fact check it, false. But then if you just do the extra step where it's, is it Act Blue? I can't remember because I hadn't prepped this part. But they just give it to Act Blue, which then gives it to the Democrats. There's no fucking... There's no like... It's just slimy. And I'm not saying the Republicans don't do that, because of course they do. Here we go. Where's the bald dude? He's not here tonight, mate. You got me if you want me. You don't have to have me. Aussie is here saying Democrats are the plantations. Yeah, well, there's I mean, not all Democrats, and it's not everything that they ever think. Although I'm going to end today on something really fucking terrifying that is very much up there with plantation owners. It's gravely serious. I wish it was just that little garden. I wish even that it was just this. And I wish that this was a conservative plan. I honestly do. I wish this was a 4chan troll and everyone was doing their best to ignore them. But no, these are white and Asian people because they're honorary whites now. But no, this was arranged by Mary Williams and Regan Jackson. Mary Williams is a local, quite famous activist who worked on the Obama campaign. And Regan Jackson is also an activist and an artist. who talks herself being a spiritual black feminist woman, etc., etc., who she has multiple identities. She is an intersectional feminist. If Juneteenth segregation was organized by conservative infiltrators, then these people have been living for years to go undercover. These people have done a phenomenal job and should be snapped up by the CIA or some such organization, because they are phenomenal at what they do. Absolutely phenomenal. No, they were open and clear about this. And they were proud of it. It gets worse though. Oh God. Fucking hate this. If you don't follow at Conceptual James on the Twitter, then you must do so. Search James Lindsay. He's a phenomenal writer. I think he's at maths. Maths is his area, but he went on and he's great. He's absolutely great. He's exposed this one here. This week, I have 9 training presentations for school assistant principals and school principals. My trainings presentations include a request that most books used in schools be burned. I'm really hoping that's a turn of phrase. I really am. Stop using white history, white mathematics, and white science as the foundation. There is a deep rot on the left right now. And if you are on the left, please stand up to this. Please. Because it's eating people up, and it's increments, little by little by little. And you know, you just allow these little things, and it's like, you know, once the goalposts get moved a little bit, it's like you can't get them back again, you know. Sorry, where's the proof? I've just shown you the video of them racially segregating, you prick. We've been talking about it for 22 minutes now. Check this out though. Oh, in fact, this is perfect timing. Joe has said, given another couple of weeks and they'll be starving and deserting the place. Well, obviously, without capitalism and the joys of American freedom and wealth, they'd already be starving. But there's an interesting thing here. I've seen that apparently Proud Boys. Oh, sorry, Cold. I was a bit much then, wasn't I? I just got on. Well, there you go. The Proud Boys applied to protest at the CHAZ, and I tried to get a thing up. This is what the Proud Boys are saying, but there's nothing. It's odd that it's not been given any coverage, isn't it? Kind of frustrated. But yeah, they did. They got in touch with Seattle PD. This is what they're saying anyway. I mean, I don't see any reason for them to have lied about it. I think the Proud Boys love this shit, man. As far as they're concerned, they're standing up for freedom. The Proud Boys announced that they're going to go and protest it, and immediately the governing bodies in Seattle have started talking about bringing down the CHAZ and times up and all the rest of it. And I'm wondering if they just got the fear, didn't they? But really, and you know, if you are a Democrat and you are in charge, I'd allow it. Let the Proud Boys down there. It's only ever going to look bad for them. They're not going to get good coverage. They're going to be painted in the media as the aggressors. So they should have let them down there, but apparently they're not going to. Now, I'm going to cover something else before we get back to this. I don't know if anyone knows, but people have been taking a knee all over the place. I think that's phenomenally pathetic, especially in the UK. We are not America. This is not. It's not. Why the fuck would we take a knee? I don't know. And if you were an American, why would you take a knee? I don't understand. To do it out of respect for someone, 100%. To do it out of a social pressure, I don't get that at all. It's really, really strange. But you see it, man. If you put 10 people in a room and 9 of them just get on a knee, the 10th person, in all likeliness, will just do it. They've done tests with actors, where exactly that happens. People just go. Another test that's reasonably famous is just literally getting people to sit in a waiting room and pouring smoke through their doors. And everyone but one or two of them are actors, and everyone just sits there reading, calmly, relaxing. And the people that are there are freaking out, but they're looking at the other people who are being calm and just not doing anything. And I learned something important when I read that. And it's don't be that person. Don't be looking at the other 9 people. And, you know, I mean, assess it. Don't be stupid. If they're all running away from a lion, then join in. You know, that's where that instinct comes from. That's where it's rooted in us, man. But if they're all sitting there and they're about to die because the smoke's pouring in, don't be number 10. Fucking stand up for that shit. Smoke C's just brought up a good point that I wasn't going to talk about today. The video of the ambulance stopped outside the zone while the guy was dying. Yeah, which CHAZ, the warlord, has you know, fuck the system, fuck you corrupt bastards and all that. It's an autonomous zone, so they wanted that right. Well, apparently it's not an autonomous zone, because if it's an autonomous zone, then it becomes legally, apparently anyway, I'm not an expert in these things, but then it becomes much more under Trump's jurisdiction, rather than local state affair. It's a state affair at the moment. Do you know what I mean? It's Trump can talk about it, but he can't really do fuck all about it. But if they actually, if those you are now leaving the USA signs were considered real, which they could be, if people are stood there with guns and whatever, then it becomes legally a much more complicated matter. So they changed it to protest. Joe has said they have no idea what they're doing or what they want, do they? No, most of them don't. And you know what? I would argue that the vast majority of them are good people there for trying to help. I would genuinely say that. I really would. You know, they might be a bit aimless or whatever, but don't paint but they you know, they're useful idiots, aren't they? They're useful. I'm talking about the organizers here. I'm talking about the philosophy behind it. I'm talking about this shit that we've got right now. Burnley FC tweeted. Burnley FC police, sorry. So if you don't know, football games in the UK are quite bad for violence, to the point where each club has basically got its own regiment. And there's the reason for that is because they know the regulars then. And if a team plays away, that police force moves with them. So they know the people that are causing trouble. They know the ones who are loud but not going to do anything. It's like, oh, no, they'll just say, no, just ignore him. He's just having a bit of a shout on the way in, but it'll be fine. It's good. It's good community placing. It's not perfect, but nothing is. Now, they tweeted out, we are aware of the incident that occurred tonight before the game. Ourselves and Burnley official are aware of it and fully investigating. Thank you for all the tweets and reports. Now, was it this? UK football, you are not allowed to do anything like this. The Manchester City's manager got fined £15,000, I think it was, for wearing a little pin that he refused to take off. No, they all got on their knees. They wore T-shirts, they wore stickers. Black Lives Matter. They are quite literally chanting a communist manifesto pledge here right now. And to me, this is an incident, but apparently not, because, you know, 9 out of 10 people are doing it. No, here's the incident right here. I can't help but laugh. Just as these guys were taking the knee in their mandated apology to the black race, a plane carrying White Lives Matter flew over the Etihad. White Lives Matter, Burnley. Bless them. Now, this was really serious, man. The police were looking into it. It was a big thing. You know, TV presenters and stuff in the UK were all talking about it like it was something, and I genuinely didn't understand. In fact, I replied to that tweet saying I'm not sure how this is a police matter at all, like in any way. Now they've just said police say that Burnley White Lives Matter stunt was not a criminal offence. Thank fuck for that. Thank you, because you know what? To me, this is unnecessary identitarianism, and this is unnecessary identitarianism. None of it, all of it leads us down the bad path. All of it is a little bit further on from that park with those 200 people. These are our heroes telling us that this is okay. Now, what's the reasons that this could have been? Some people say white lives matters because they are ignorant, racist assholes, or they are trolls that want to wind you up. Some people say white lives matter because, you know, what is it? 20,000 children get raped every year in this country because of the color of their skin. Maybe that's why they flew it. I don't know. Nobody's reporting it. All anyone's doing is telling me how bad it is that white lives matter. Maybe it's because white kids are doing worse in school. White boys specifically are doing the worst in schools. They are being failed by the system. If we're going to talk about systematic racism, which is what this is all about, by the way, all of it, in the UK particularly, because a black man was murdered by a police officer in another country, and now our heroes are on their knees. I don't know. I don't know why they did it, but I'm so fucking glad that it's not a criminal offence. Finally, a little bit of light at the tunnel. Maybe they did it because of this, though. I don't know. We've just had a terrorist attack. 3 white gay men, one of whom is the leader for Pride. This is beautiful, man. This is actually a beautiful situation. Not the deaths, obviously. That's fucking horrific. And I think well, no, if I do know the guy on the left, I'm going to talk about it. But or at least an acquaintance, anyway. Oh, that's a horrible thought. One of them runs Pride in Reading. Literally, the chair. And yet, for some reason in this country, because it was an Islamic terror attack, it's just being rubbed away. At any other point, if 3 gay men were just stabbed in the street like this, we would be doing the same thing. We would be freaking out. But there's a weird thing on the left at the moment, isn't there? This segregational attitude we have, the white supremacy that has riddled the left-wing left side of politics at the moment. They've seen these 3 men who've died, and he was killed by a man who is blaming racism. And he's a dark-skinned man, so fuck it. Alan's saying he saw it happen. I live in Reading. I'm sorry about that. Fuck's sake. Apparently NPC 0000 said he cited the terrorist attack in Reading. Here's the thing, though. George Floyd, not a nice guy by all accounts. I'm sure he wasn't 100% evil, but he did some terrible things. He still didn't deserve to be murdered like that. Why is it that when he dies, he's literally painted as an angel now? He's brought up, lifted up by the media and by politicians. And yet, when someone flies a White Lives Matter thing, nobody gives it the benefit of a doubt. No, they're going to assume the absolute worst. In fact, I was going to go through this Guardian piece, but I don't want to do it now. In fact, if anyone wants to come in, you're more than welcome to. I can get you in. If you want to have a chat, I would really, really, really love to have some perspective on this and hear some of the thoughts. Because it's really bothering me, man. I don't know what to do about it. I mean, look at this community. This is a white community that have just suffered 3 murders, which by all accounts was done because of their ethnicity. So why is this not given the benefit of the doubt? I think you might be right in terms of a race war coming. I think I can't remember who said it now, but I think that's what's being stoked up right now. And I worry that communists want that because they want the chaos and we have to resist it. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is all online. This is all this stuff. I was out today with my neighbours. There's different colours, different backgrounds, all sorts of nonsense going on. And no one gives a fuck. No one cares. The real world is very, very different to all this shit. Is that true? I'm going to go into that in a sec. But yeah, let me be 100% clear though, because this thing, when people start going on about Soros and fucking commies and all that, this isn't some weird paranoia. Right now in the UK, following the death of a man in America, UK BLM have raised £1 million. It's quite a lot of money, quite a considerable amount of money. I wonder how much we'll find out. I wonder how much we'll see in terms of the spending for that. Who we are. Let me make that a bit bigger for you. BLM UK is a coalition of black activists and organisers across the UK. We've been organising since 2016. Wow, amazing. Amazing. You mean causing fucking problems for everyone? They blocked the airport in London, or one of the airports in London. Just blocked it, screaming Black Lives Matter as if that makes it okay. Which, by the way, hurts the poorest of us. Because if you're rich and you miss your flight, well, you're not going to be happy. But you can get another one. If you're someone like me and you miss your flight, you're fucked, mate. Oh, that's it. Took me 3 years to save for that holiday. Thank you. Maybe I'll get a little bit of it back in insurance, say. I'll just let my daughter know. She's, maybe next year, eh? Fuck you. But here we go. This is their thing. We're guided. This is what they themselves have said, and they've raised £1 million. I don't think anyone's actually read this. We're guided by a commitment to dismantle imperialism, capitalism, white supremacy, patriarchy, and the state structures that disproportionately harm black people in Britain and around the world. We build deep relationships across the diaspora and strategize to challenge the rise of authoritarian right wing across the world, from Brazil to Britain. That's what the fuck has right wing or left wing got to do with it? At least the American wing, at least the American sort of Black Lives Matter tries to pretend to be a little bit, non-partisan. Trying to get black people registered to vote, regardless of whatever. In the UK, straight up, what the fuck has Black Lives got to do with capitalism? There is no greater force for raising anyone out of poverty than capitalism, and that's fact. There's no dancing around that. I don't believe it, man. I don't believe any of it. Fucking patriarchy. What is patriarchy anymore? What is if I try and be a good father to my daughter, is that patriarchy? Yeah. And the state structures that disproportionately harm black people. All right, I'll accept. There's got to be. In the same way that the grooming gangs would disproportionate against white girls and black girls, actually, but vastly white girls. That's why at the start I said ethnically British, because it was mostly white, but it was also black. If you were black British, you were also a target. You were dirty. And it was done as a punishment to the communities. And here's the bit where we get to state structures. The police and our elected officials intentionally ignored it because of the color of their skin. Now, here's what I want to get back to. Desperately, in terms of a left that I have known. You might think the left are just fucking lunatics and it's a disease and liberalism and all that stuff. Bullshit. There's been a lot of fucking good people on the left side of politics. And this shit only works if there's good people on both sides. It only works if there's strong arguments on both sides of the collectivist and the individual. That's the only time it works. And it can do. But we need to get away with just focusing on black people or focusing on this or that or the other. It's fucking insane. Show me the injustice. Show me the problem, and we can fucking fight it together. But don't lie to me about police statistics in terms of black people. You're more likely, I mean, I don't know about America, but you're more likely to die in police custody if you're white in this country. You're more likely to be searched if you're black. What am I going to do with that information? What am I going to do with it? Am I going to go, oh, white lives matter? Fucking, we need to fucking sort this. White people are dying in prison. British police are murdering white people. Or am I going to be like, fucking black lives fucking matter? Oh, they're stopping you on the street. Am I going to pick and choose what information I want to, that's going to make me most frustrated and it's going to support what I want to do the most? I'm a fuck. I'm going to tell a lot of them to fuck off. The identitarians on the left and the right and everywhere in between can go fuck themselves. I don't care the color of your skin. If you're a dick, you're a dick. And if you're decent, you're decent. And it's insane to me that I even need saying, because this argument had already won, especially in America. America's fucking built on this shit. America, there's no country on earth as good as America for taking someone who was born in another country and accepting them as American. There's no other country on the planet as good as America at that. And you're pissing it away, squandering it phenomenally. I mean, we all take the piss out of you for it. Oh, I'm Irish American, blah blah blah. But there's that attitude there was always that thing of I'm fucking American, and it was there. It was there in all your media and your attitude and your music. It was all I don't know. And you're squandering it away. You're pissing it away by allowing identitarians on both sides to be loud. American Rebellion has said, "How about lives matter?" Then shut the fuck up. Yeah. Native Americans. Well, that's another one where they pick and choose, don't we? We talked about that last week, where we're like, oh, well, they had two-spirit. Well, some of them did. Just like some people think of the world that way now. And some of them also had slaves. Some of them were brutal. But let's pick and choose the best bits that make us feel like, you know, we're doing the right thing. Now, become an anarchist. No. I mean, the rule, we need the rule of law and we need property rights. And I mean property rights in the sense that I own my stuff. It has to exist. There's no such thing as anarchy. I mean, I get it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not poo-pooing the whole thing. I know there's a lot of great anarchist thinkers that I really, really enjoy. And I do probably fall a bit more down there. But yeah, no. I'm a capitalist. I believe in capitalism, 100%. Not this. Which means a small government. Capitalism isn't the government making all these fucking decisions for everyone, telling you how to run your business. It's if I want to sell you a service, if I want to sell you my time or my property or my intellectual ability, we negotiate a price, and that's it. It's nothing to do with anyone else. If I fuck you or you fuck me over, though, that's why I can't believe in anarchy. That's why there needs to be an independent arbiter. You know? No, Dave, definitely not an anarcho-capitalism. No. To me, anarcho-capitalism makes no sense whatsoever. It's a what's it called? A contradiction in terms. I can't think of the name for it right now. There's a specific word that fits that very well. And anarcho-capitalism is just madness to me. Absolute madness. Capitalism cannot exist without the rule of law. It doesn't. But here's the problem. Here's the issue. And I often get interpreted as what I'm saying in that way, because I'll be talking about a small government, but it's because I don't think the government should be involved in nearly as much as what it's involved in at the moment, especially in the UK. It's insane. They're deciding everything right now, even absolutely fucking everything. And I can't take it. Left and right, they're absolutely awful. Graham, a child of Thatcher. God, no, I'm not in there. The problem is Capitalism doesn't exist when you have a government as big as it is right now. We're looking at fucking Wall Street and the financial markets and healthcare and all this stuff, and we're like, fucking capitalism. But healthcare and financial markets are two of the most regulated things on the planet. That isn't capitalism. When Wall Street opens and there's 200 government employees in there with them right from the get-go, keeping an eye on things, regulating the shit out of it. When the American government is backing bad bets on Wall Street, is funding your losses, that isn't capitalism. No, that's making you stupid. That's making you but yeah, what's Dave saying here? No ruler. It does not mean no rules. Stop fighting a straw man. All right. But I'm not fighting a straw man, though, am I? Let's without rules, we still fuck's sake, do I really need to get into the nonsense that is anarchy right now? Okay, no ruler doesn't work. Doesn't work. Not for 10 minutes. Look at CHAZ. There was rulers. People identified themselves as rulers straight away. And you know what? It'd take me another fucking hour to go into this nonsense. It isn't a straw man in the slightest. You cannot have no rulers. Someone will rise. People do rise. Of course they do. And the thing with capitalism is that there needs to be the rule of law. And the rulers that anarchy gives me, they're not going to respect my property. They're not going to respect my rights. Capitalism cannot exist with anarchy. It just doesn't make any sense. The two philosophies are so insanely opposed to each other. That's the funny thing about Richie Allen. When Richie Allen's like, oh, you fucking anarcho-capitalist. And I'm like, Richie, that is literally the opposite, apart from the fact that that's just fucking nonsense. And you're such a blind socialist that you've been focused on it for so long that that's the only thing you can fucking see. Because he literally cannot imagine a world without being oppressed, without having a fucking massa to look up to. Explaining why anarchy won't work is like trying to explain why a joke is funny. Yeah. I mean, it's stop fighting a straw man. Stop! Just being a fucking NPC and think for your fucking self. But anyway, we talked about the segregation. We talked about the garden. We talked about the violence and all that and what I'm accepting and what I'm not accepting. But the issue right now is, and it all goes back to this intersectionality, it is the rebranding of racism. It is the rebranding of white supremacy. Genuinely terrifies the shit out of me. But California being ahead of the game, as it always is. Now, in 1996, they had Proposition 209. And what Proposition 209 did was, this is amazing, stopped affirmative action, because it put to the letter of the law that the government isn't allowed to allow discrimination based on the color, race, all the other stuff. And oh god, man, this is full fucking Alex Jones at this point. But here we go. This is how it's being covered. California are going to repeal Prop 209. This is Ballotpedia. We're going to have a look at this in a second. Here we go. They prepare for a possible return of affirmative action. Plan to restore affirmative action in California. Clears hurdle. University of Canada votes to restore, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. So they're going to restore affirmative action. How are they doing that then? Well, it's called 209, the Affirmative Action Bill. It's probably quite a good thing then, isn't it? Hey, let's lift up the broken people, even though... Please, after this show, go and read this. Go and read what California is doing right now in the name of all this. So the text of the measure. The measure would repeal Section 31 of Article 1 of the California Constitution. The following struck-through text would be repealed. Notice, California is not proposing to add text to their constitution right now. They are not proposing to allow an exemption for affirmative action, which is systematic racism. No, they are striking through. The same mentality that stands guarding the safe space for blacks is the same mentality that is currently and will by November cross out from the Californian Constitution. The state shall not discriminate against or grant preferential treatment to any individual or group on the basis of race, sex, color, ethnicity, or national origin in the operation of public employment, public education, or public contracting. California is currently destroying a cornerstone of American equality. They have, for some reason, written at the top, affirmative action amendment. It isn't an amendment. They are literally, and if you don't believe me, please go and read this for yourself. They are removing wholesale from the state's constitution about discriminating on race, sex, color, everything, the whole fucking lot. It's all just getting crossed out. Look, nothing added, nothing new, just gone. All in the name of affirmative action. This is literally how all these atrocities get started. This is it right here. When they say to you, what were you doing? You know, you ever wonder what you've been doing when the Nazis took over? You ever wonder what you've been doing in Cambodia when they started executing school teachers? Well, you're doing it right now in terms of the Californian Constitution being ripped up right in front of your eyes with a cheer and a smile and a you're welcome. There is nothing added. This is fucking terrifying. Now, the problem with this, obviously, affirmative action never went away. But what the Californian universities do and what they're currently being sort of like taken to court for is, rather than using skin color to decide whether they're going to let you into the university or not, they go off your postcode or zip code, you call it, don't you? And then they just so happen to know the zip codes or the areas, the districts that are predominantly black or predominantly white or predominantly Asian, and they make decisions based on that because it has to be colorblind. Fucking step back, man. There's no difference, though. There's absolutely no difference between this bullshit and that little racially segregated garden. It is all a string with the same logic and the same thinking. And they talk about diversity and inclusion and equity and opening spaces up. And they are literally and the reason I don't give a fuck. I'm never moving to California. Fuck that. I had a lot of fun there, man. Don't get me wrong. There's some crazy shit goes down, but I wouldn't dream of living there at this point. Not that America would have me. Let's be honest. Imagine me at the embassy trying to look nice. But the reason it worries me is because George Floyd was murdered in the United States of America and there was riots in my country. Some of the most famous footballers on the planet are now on their knees for the communists. These things echo. And social media is based in California. So this stuff will echo and it will affect me. And the mindless puppet politicians that we have in this country, the spineless pricks, every single one of them will follow suit with this nonsense. Because they'll see. Look at the way they've written it up. Look at what happens when you Google this. Wow. They are literally ripping up the Constitution right in front of their eyes. And the LA Times, CNN, Daily Cal, they're all just like, oh, nice. I don't know, man. This is the point for me where I don't care what you do. I don't care how big or how small it is. You need to do something. And I'm not talking about violence. I'm not talking about insurrection. I'm talking about you need to let people know about this stuff because it's creeping through. And, you know, I can moan about bins all I want and stuff. And, you know, I'm not going to fucking go down there and start banging on City Hall. Fucking click the fucking bins. I keep getting rats. No. But this stuff, I don't know, man. I don't necessarily believe that you need to protest, but you need to talk to people and you need to tell them, and they need to be aware of it, man. You may have noticed Hayden going to war on Twitter. He's having a whale of a time right now because this shit has bit him. And you know what? That's the perfect example there. Now, you might not be in a position like Hayden or even myself where you can just sort of scream and rant and not give a sweet fuck about the consequences. I understand and I respect that completely. But if the least you can do is just talk to people, you've got to let them know. And if you just say that California is ripping up the Constitution, you've got to explain why. You've got to explain how. You've got to show them that it's all they're doing is just crossing it all out. And try not to sound like a lunatic as you're doing it. I don't know. Gyro said, I'm just grateful my parents live far away from the city I live in. If shit really does get crazy, I'm absolutely heading back to the woods. Yeah, I get the feeling, man. If you live saying the pendulum keeps swinging harder in each direction, yeah, you do get that feeling, don't you? Time for peeps to open their eyes and stay in the center. Yeah, I think we really, really, really need to get rid of this left-right thing for me. I really... Manzi's asking me if I get rid of the African-American part of the Oreo. I wouldn't dream of putting that in my mouth. How dare you? I get the lovely white cream and then gone. Here we got John Grammaticus has said Tim Pool last night was going mad on his podcast about this crap. Check it out. I will. I quite like Tim Pool. I don't get to watch him as much as I do. I think when my kid was younger, I'd put him on for the news because he doesn't swear. So I could have him on around my kid, but you know, I don't. I tend to be just reason now. Anyway, I've got out the habit, but I do like Tim Pool. But he's a hard one sometimes because he I mean, way more than me. I mean, I read the news constantly, but he's fucking nuts deep in that shit all the time. And the thing about trying to follow Tim Pool sometimes is you have to know a lot about the context around it sometimes, but he's a good guy. And I do when I do watch his videos, I do really identify with him. I really do get that feeling of like I've been on my left all my life, and then there's they're just fucking ripping up 209 and racially segregating now, and I don't know what to do with myself. Like Sargon said, Sargon's another good one. It's corporate sponsored protesting. Yeah, you're damn right. Fat Belly said BBC is fueling the fire. Fat Belly, you are completely correct there. The BBC is so fucking disgusting at the moment. I actually got a well, it was you guys donated actually. A donation came in. It was for the Times. I'm giving the Times a go because I'm just at the point now where I don't think we can get away with not paying for our news anymore. And I know technically we all pay for the BBC because we do. Whether you've got a TV license or not, you still pay for the BBC. You do. Loads of their world service and news funding comes from the government anyway. So you do. If you've ever bought food in your life or alcohol or tobacco, that has been taxed. That's gone to the government. It's gone to the BBC. So you do pay for it, TV license or not. But I don't know if I can deal with that. It's such insane bullshit, the BBC at the moment. It's just so thin. It's just a couple of paragraphs. And the thing about the BBC isn't necessarily that they're wrong or they lie. It's what they leave out of stories that drives me up the fucking wall. And it's the framing. The BBC, I mean, you all saw that, like, 27 police officers injured at largely peaceful protests. The framing's awful. And I know, they don't hire the best to write those headlines. I'm going to put it that way. Cup of Tea says it's best for trans news. Yeah, probably, yeah. Sky is just like the BBC. Yeah, but I can deal with Sky a little bit better. At least they try. Manzi's saying, you've seen this, Graham? Dude, I don't know. Maybe you have to DM me it or send me it on Twitter or something, mate, because I can't see. I mean, I can see that comment, but I can't see if you sent me anything. Oh, Cookies just sent me a tweet. Thank you so much for that, saying Seattle has cut off water and electricity to the CHOP area. Seattle is waging war on its own citizens instead of listening to them. No, look this up for yourself. I'm telling you right now. Thank you for that, Cookie, by the way. They have cut off water and electricity because the Proud Boys have just let the Seattle PD know that they're going to be protesting. And if the Proud Boys turn up, they're going to be turning up armed and ready in an open carry state. And for all the bad coverage they get, the Proud Boys do tend to follow the law. They do. They will stand there and they will not attack until they are attacked. They're not stupid. They've been caught out and they get fucked over. But yeah, of course they have. They're cutting it off now, aren't they? Because they know what's coming. Quite literally war. Thank you for that tweet. I do appreciate it. But yeah, sorry. What I was saying was I've gone for the Times now. I know it's a more right-leaning paper, but I think I saw I saw so many stories of them criticizing Boris Johnson's government, criticizing their actions. They did that huge expose a month or so ago. And I just got to the point where I was like, right, okay, so they seem to be right-leaning, although I've not really seen much evidence of that reading it. But in terms of reading the Times at the moment, they just present information and it's really fucking refreshing. And it's £26 a month. So it's less than £1 a day. And it was you guys sent a big dough. Like, if you send me $1, Hayden, it goes into an account, me and Hayden like split it. And it kind of goes like 40%, and then 20% for the, but it depends because sometimes we just put it all on the software. But generally, I mean, to be honest, what we do is we usually it all goes on expenses, every penny on expenses first and only. And then if there's a little bit left over, we usually split it 50-50, even though that wasn't the agreement originally, because he does most of the work. He pulls it through. He does all the back end. He does fucking shitloads, more than you might realize, way more than you might realize. So originally the agreement wasn't 50, but he tends to just split it. He's like, here you go, mate, whatever. He's really good. So when you guys sent me the thing last time, I'm testing it out. That's what I'm spending it on. So I'm trying to spend it on something for you so that I can gather information. Because I'm at the point now where I'm thinking, we got to start paying for our news again, man. We do. We journalists. H is definitely exploiting me. Yeah, of course he is. Of course he is, mate. Yeah, you're totally right. 100%. Oh, I'm such a victim. John is saying that the price of newspapers is now a joke. Well, here's the thing. There was two versions of the Times. There was a £15 a month one, which is 50p a day. But it was mobile or, app only, basically. You could only do that. I went for the more expensive one that you can use on a browser, because that way, if I want to talk about it on the show with you guys, I want to make a video, it's there and I'm not, I've paid for it and it's official. And then the money you've given me then is now paying for that and we can all enjoy it. But Blind Fury is saying start a trigger party. The link's in the description. If anyone wants to jump in, I can give you the thingy right there, man, if you want it. But yeah, the price of newspapers is a joke. I agree with that, but we need to start paying again. Look at the fucking state of things. Look what's happened. I need a Hayden hand puppet for the solo show. So I don't get lonely. Oh, right. Natasha, thank you so much for your sub. Natasha 441 on Twitch Prime. I said, I'm a sub. Who's the Dom? That'll be the gammon with a big rubber cock in his hand. There you go. Bitch slapping beta pimp booth. Oh God, if only you knew how much of a fucking pimp I am. You've no idea. Brutal I am. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Right, if no one's going to join in, which is absolutely fine, by the way. If no one wants to talk tonight, that's fine. I really needed to talk about this. And I really needed to get this shit out of my system because it's driving me fucking nuts. Oh, that's okay. That's okay, man. There's no thing. You don't have to. Couple of things though before we boogie. I really wanted to talk about this, which is the conspiracy theory right now about fireworks. There's fireworks everywhere, man. People freaking out. Certain people on the left are freaking out as if it's some sort of conspiracy to shake things up and create a warlike feeling. And there's some serious investigations going on right now. I would guess that these investigations are going to be going on for about another 2 weeks. I'm guessing it's probably going to be about July 4th that they realize why there's fireworks all across American cities going off way more than usual. You know, because people aren't working, maybe. I don't know. People haven't been outside for 3 months. Who can say? But it's a great mystery of the fireworks. And my big thing that I'm probably going to be staying up late for tonight, just to see, like, try and get some information on it. In fact, you don't even need to see that, but it's AOC. She's up for re-election, isn't she? And they're trying to prime her. And I've been loving it so much because AOC raised like 10.5 million and has been painted as a hero for, a staggering 10.5 million. I had a story I was going to go through, but I'm not going to go through another paper now. But yeah, then Caruso Cabrera raised 2 million and she's been shat on for raising 2 million. They're saying it's all from Wall Street. It's all from big business. Oh, there we go, Fat Belly. Fireworks are hiding the sound of gunfire. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, Bucks Corp. That's the point of the fireworks. We're close to the 4th of July. Yeah, that's the point. But newspapers are just disgraceful, rage-baiting, fear-inducing scumbags at the moment, which is why I'm giving the Times a go. I want someone who knows they're getting paid no matter what, and I want to just see how it goes. And so far, it's been fucking phenomenal. It's by and large information. There's an opinion section, marked opinion, which I don't mind. I want that. And I want to read things that I agree with and disagree with. I want that. But I want it to be clear. When it's free, the opinion and the news are sort of all blended together into one thing. And I can't live like that anymore, man. And I don't think any of us should be. It's a huge issue. That combined with social media is fucking us up. It's destroying us. I don't know. I don't know what mean political party Graham means. I honestly don't know what that means. I've no idea. And Rick Kerr's just blaming the Germans. Good for you, man. I don't know what that means, though. But yeah, keep an eye on AOC because I think it'll be interesting either way. The woman's been absolutely fucking useless. She's genuinely too stupid to understand what's going on around her. And I don't say that lightly. I don't say that, like people, oh, he's just fucking idiot. No, Trump's an idiot. He's not. He definitely isn't. He makes mistakes. He puts his foot in his mouth constantly, but he's not an idiot. But AOC genuinely does not understand the things that are going on around her. But there's a hell of a lot of money. And she knows if she just talks shit on Twitter She's so much like Trump. It's insane. It makes me laugh. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that because we're either going to have AOC heading towards a second term with a flaming sword of social justice. Yeah. Because she was a big part of Amazon not going to New York. She fucked that deal in the ass. So if she gets reelected, despite that, despite it never fucking going to Queens in the Bronx, if she wins that, she's going to be burning with righteous joy. And it's going to be great to watch. Fucking car crash in terms of politics, but it'll be fun to watch. But then if she loses as well, the salt, the farming is going to be immense. I'll probably have AOC set as a permanent search for 2 days just to watch the fallout. I think it'll be beautiful. I think it'll be lovely. But guys, yeah, please, if you've got Amazon Prime, go onto our Twitch and just hit subscribe. As long as you're signed into your Amazon on the same browser, or even if you're not, it's very, very easy to do. Hit the subscribe button. You are allowed to do it for free once a month, and we get $3.60. Every time you do it, $3. It's not a lot, but it adds up, man. If there's like 15 of you doing it, it's something. It pays for my newspaper subscription. It pays for me to be a little bit more informed. Aphidlib, I didn't actually see yours, but I will give you a dildo. I don't know. Sometimes they cock up, but I'm going to take you at your word. There you go. Thank you. If you've not got Amazon Prime, that's absolutely fine. You can also just subscribe for free. That's totally cool as well. You can subscribe for whatever you want. I think it's like $5 a month or something like that. You can chuck in whatever you want. But to be honest, if you can't afford that, don't worry about it. It's absolutely fine. Please don't feel the need. If you get value out of this and you want to put value back our way, that's absolutely fine. If you get value out of it, but it's not worth a penny, then that's fine as well. Absolutely fine. I'd rather just have you here for the conversation. I'd rather have you here for the feedback. Because these are, it pays for his webcam wanks. Ooh! Oh, I got another PayPal! Where's my OnlyFans? I forgot my fucking OnlyFans. Send me more money! I've been up sub through all my OnlyFans girls. Oh, I've been. Oh, I better go. I've just had a word. Yes, Graham. Amazon Prime gets money for nothing. If you've got Amazon Prime, if you've already got Amazon Prime, you can give us one subscription a month. It doesn't cost you a penny. That's why I always push this so much, as Alex takes the mick out of me about my erections, and I push it so hard because it literally costs you nothing, and it's the way to support us. And to be honest, $3.60 or whatever it is a phenomenal monthly donation as far as I'm concerned. If everyone dropped us $3-4 a month, that'd be like perfect. I'd feel at one with the universe. So yes, a cup of tea saying, oh my God, 4 months until Trump wins again. Is it only 4 months away? I've been waiting. It's been a mental 4 years, hasn't it? Mental. Oh, I can't wait. Apparently the debates have just been confirmed as well. There's going to be 3 Trump Biden debates. I'm very excited about that. And I'm not just excited about it. They are currently in discussions for the venue. So they're not talking about it being moderated via Skype or any nonsense. No, we're going to get the in-the-room bloodbath. And what are we going to get? Are we going to get aggressive, threatening Trump? Are we going to get crazy Trump? Are we going to get presidential Trump? Because he can do that as well. And Biden's not going to have a fucking clue. It's going to be exciting. Avid Lip there is saying he won't win. I bet the farm. A year ago, 6 months ago, guaranteed Trump victory. Guarantee it. Now, I'm not so sure. I don't know. There's too many things at play. It's exciting though, isn't it? I would not say that it's guaranteed for either of them. A cup of tea is saying UK gambling firms giving evens on Trump win. And yeah, I wanted to put money on Trump winning 6 months ago, but the odds were so bad. They were so poor that it might be worth checking it out again, because it was something like 54-2 or something. It's ridiculous. Yeah, or 2-50, 2-54. It was insanely poor. It wasn't worth bothering to give him the money. I suspect he's going to win. I think the polls are being used as a weapon, because he's. Oh, here we go. We've set Aphid Lip up, haven't we? Bless him. He won't leave is the problem. Yeah, they've been saying that since 2016, though, haven't they? I'm not sure I believe it. I don't know. I've not seen any genuine evidence for him refusing to leave. And in terms of the rigging stuff, yes, I mean, it is a genuine concern. You can't say it isn't. But whatever. I suspect, though, people like AOC want the lockdown to continue for a very good reason. Lockdown hurts Trump. Trump is looking to open up the American economy. We'll have to see. Things could be very, very different by September. If he gets that second stimulus out, or the third, depending on how you look at it, but if he gets the next stimulus out, if things open up properly and people have got a little bit of hope, I very much don't think that Trump stands a chance of losing, to be honest. I really, really don't. Not when Biden is the candidate. But then again, here's the interesting thing about the Trump election. A lot of people really, really hate Trump, and they will go out and vote for literally anyone. They've said that. They've said, I do not care if Biden is a rapist. I don't care. Trump is worse. He's got to go. There's a lot of people who really love Trump as well, though. That's the thing. And there's no polling that's accounting for that just now, especially the complexities of state by state. There's no polling out there that's covering that in a decent enough manner. Not even close. Hopefully, as we get closer to the election, it might get a little bit more accurate, but it's pathetic at the moment. I'm excited for it, though. I really am. I think the silent majority thing is huge. You remember when Hillary was 96% going to win it? Remember that? I don't know, man. But see, the problem is, Trump's been saying for the last 3.5-4 years, fake news, the fake news media, and the news's response to that has been to put out fake news. Now, there's some people who choose to believe that fake news and then just sit there going, orange man, bad. And there's people who choose to just fucking adore Trump past all his faults, almost like a deity, because of the fake news thing. And I don't know. I don't know how it's going to be go. Here's a good example. Here's a really good example about what's going on right now. Like that rally, and he got punked. There was only 6,000 people there because people en masse got fake tickets. They weren't going to, well, they were real tickets, but they weren't going to turn up. Sort of fake reservations, yeah? And there weren't as many people there as you might expect. It was still a fucking good rally. It was a lot better than most of the Democrats have been pulling in. But, whatever. It wasn't the million that Trump was talking about. Now, that's had a lot of dunking on Twitter. That's had a lot of people going, ho, 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 ho. But the live stream of that was the biggest Saturday night in Fox News' history. So on one side, yeah, you're like, oh, there's only 6,000 people there. But on the other side, that was Fox News' biggest night ever. So I think that really, really demonstrates very, very well how interesting this thing is at the moment in terms of the forces involved. And one argument might be, like, obviously not all the people watching Fox are going to be like, bro, voting Trump. I watched some of it. I watched the beginning 16 minutes or something because it was just fucking exciting. He's back doing his stand-up routine. But I'm not going to be voting for Trump, am I? Obviously not. So I'm not one of him. But here's the thing. Those TikTok people who punked him, are they also going to vote? Are they going to vote for Biden? For me, I'd assume that there's going to be a good number of them who don't give a fuck about Biden, just the same they don't give a fuck about Trump. They don't give a fuck about either of them. They don't give a fuck about boomers like me hammering on like this either. I don't know. We'll have to see. Fat Belly's asking how the arm is. It is getting there, mate. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, I'll be beating women before you know it. Oh my God. Look at that. Oh, yeah. She's not going to know what it's a. Bookscop's saying there's between 10 to 15 minutes between Fox and online. Yeah, but then you've got to add all the YouTube. I didn't watch it on Fox's official channel. I don't think I did anyway. Or either way, I just watched a clip. I watched that meandering thing where he was talking about the drinking the water, and it's like, dude, man, how have you got such an ego that you're going on about this? You picking up water with two hands, but then, oh, here we go. I've seen bigger arms on a Barbie doll. So I'm either too fat or too skinny. I can't fucking lose. But yeah, I don't know if you watched that bit, but watch Trump talking about why he drank the water and listen to him play that room. Fucking phenomenal. It might have only been 6,000 people or whatever, and he's losing it and it's going up and it's going down and all the rest of it. But he ends by drinking his water and just throwing it out and they go fucking mental. And that it kind of gave me that feeling of not the actual Johnny Cash, but Johnny Cash in the movie about Johnny Cash. That feeling of smashing, when he says the water in the prison shit and he throws it down and the prisoners go fucking mental. That the thing is that Trump's the only one right now that's giving you that feeling, that's giving you that, I don't know. That being proud to be a fucking American, there's you're not getting that from Biden, but then again you are getting that. Oh, can we just all calm down? 2020 has been the worst year ever. I just want things to go back to normal. Not that they would go back to normal with Biden or Trump. I don't know. Right. I'm going to go in just a moment. Yes, Fat Belly, you've put it there. Trump gives you the USA feeling. Yeah, that's what he's going for, man. And it's not particularly deep, although there is a lot going on there. If this is what we're seeing, then if we're seeing racial segregation, then you're gonna want to cling on to someone, aren't you? Anyway, we'll have to see. There's no way of knowing. Graham's telling me off for not following myself. There's no way of knowing until we get the debates. I suspect he's going to destroy him in the debates, and the Biden camp right now are desperately trying to find an excuse to get out of him. I don't see how Biden's going to do it unless Biden is high as a fucking kite. He's going to have like one of these world-leading doctors, the sort of ones that a chess champion would go to cheat. I suspect that Biden's going to be wired to the tits so that his brain is functioning like it was in the late 80s again. But he only gets an hour. The dude, you won't see him for 3 days afterwards because it'll just be fucking water and blood going into him and all the rest of it. I don't know. Dave has just said, didn't Jimmy Savile used to make? I'm assuming that's jokes about fighting girls. Maybe he did. Maybe Jimmy Savile did used to joke about fighting girls, but I'm not joking. I don't know. Anyway, Books Corp said, always a pleasure, Graham. Catch you guys Thursday. Good night, all. I'm going to go as well. It's time to get myself to bed. Hopefully, I'll see you Thursday. Can't make any promises. It might just be me. We might do a phone in. I don't know. We are due to be back in the studio, though. Full show, big show, all the rest of it. We're due to be back there. I hope we are. I need to get out and all the rest of it. It's fun. It's lovely. Especially when Aiden makes me play games that I have to lean back on the VR and it makes me look fat. Fucking bullshit. But anyway, Big love to you guys. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening.